Episode 3831, Scale Your Hours to Honor Your Heart.
Moms, it's time to rediscover, rejuvenate, and renew who you are in mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie, the show to help you do just that. Here's your host, certified life coach, personal trainer, and nutritionist, Christiane Wargo.
Happy day. I hope you're having a fabulous week. Can you believe it's Friday, Junior? Yes, it is. And that means we've got the weekend coming up. That means more football. Oh, yes. What are you looking forward to? Maybe you've got some birthday celebrations. Maybe you're getting ready for Christmas. Oh, do I ever mention such a thing? Well, today it's Inspiration Motivation Day. Scale your hours to honor your heart. For those of you who are brand new to Create Your Now, welcome to this incredible family. I'm so delighted of your presence. If you already even had the opportunity, you want to head on over to createyournow.com where you can learn more and sign up for the Kisses newsletter. The Keep It Simple strategy, everyday solutions to live, love, and impact. Well, all I've got to say is what a week. Have you just ever had that oh, I can't believe it's almost time to breathe. But you know, you can't. And as I was writing this episode, I was like, oh, we could do a whole series on this. Wait a minute. We could literally do a whole book on this and then some things. So maybe we'll get that into the works too. But we've got to get a few things out before we work on that. But I really did like this. And I thought it was something that we all need to really think on a little bit deeper as to how we're using our hours in our day. Because every day, right, we get distractions and demands that pull us in every direction, but the one that truly matters, right, which is your own calling. And yeah, we've got to make sure we're handling our responsibilities. You just can't say, well, puppy dogs, you're on your own. Hubby, good luck. Kids, well, I don't know what it is, but the refrigerator's yours. It would be great if we could deal with the dinner dishes and dogs in a manner that is like, okay, good luck. Now, maybe if they're old enough, you can, but if you have little ones still around, you can't do that. If you have old ones still around, you maybe still can't do that. And if you're an empty nester, even then you're like, my hubby wants me to still cook for him. I wish he would just get up and make his own daggum dinner, but we'll leave that one for another episode. But seriously, right? It's easy to fill our schedules with important tasks that aren't really our own to shoulder, surrendering our time and energy to other people's priorities. But here's the thing. If you don't own your hours, someone else will. And that leaves your heart neglected. So scale your hours to honor your heart. I mean, if you were really to look at your to-do list, what does it look like? Is it one that says it's all about my responsibilities? Not that that's not a bad thing, okay? And you're going to have seasons where that's where it just has to be. I know. I've been in that season for a while. And I'm like, can I get out of that season? We'll leave that one too for another episode. But seriously, right? Because when do you stop kidding yourself and admit to what's really going on? When do you look at your to-do list and say, where are my seconds and minutes and hours going? When do you take control of your time and learn to scale your hours in a way that honors what's inside you? Because honestly, that's what counts. You're not a clone. You were designed with unique gifts and talents, a specific rhythm, and a purpose that only you can fulfill. Yeah, maybe somebody else can quote unquote do your job or live out your calling or however you want to look at it or say it, but no one will do it with the fingerprint that you can. No one else can give the way you were created to give. Yet too often you stay trapped, holding down the fort, built on others' rules, their timelines, and their expectations. It's time to put your own stake in the ground. It's time to stand for what matters to you, not what should matter to someone else, right? You got to scale your hours to honor your heart, because scaling your hours isn't about squeezing more tasks into the day or hustling yourself into exhaustion. We're already doing that. It's about saying no. No to distractions. No to the commitments that are not here in this season that you're supposed to say yes to, and the distractions that don't align with your true mission. It's about carving out time to serve the work and the people that light your fire. And yes, that means honoring the calling God placed on your life. Have you ever stopped long enough to think, am I living out the purpose that God wants me to here on earth? And that doesn't mean you have to change your job, right? Within your career, you could be living out your purpose. And you may or may not be paid to do your purpose. Understand that, okay? You may have a job, a career, but within what you do, you honor your gifts and talents. My husband is very much that way. His career is exactly his earthly calling here. It truly is. And I tell him that very often. Why? Because he gets tired. He does. We all do. Even if you're working within your calling, I got to tell you, I get tired too. There are times I sit down and I'm thinking, I've got to write another episode. What am I going to say? What can I give them that I haven't already told them? What is new? What is different? How can I reach them in the season that they're in? And I try to put myself in your shoes. And I hope most of the time it reaches you somewhere. You glean something from it. If not, I'm sure you'll send me an email. And that's great. I'd love to hear from you. But a lot of times when we are looking at what we're supposed to do, we think that, gosh, if I could just live out my purpose and like earn money with my purpose, your purpose may not be exactly your job, okay? Your purpose may be wrapped up in your community that you volunteer in, or at church, or you're a coach and you're the volunteer coach for Little League. There's nothing wrong with that. If you are gifted to coach football, fabulous. Raise those kids up. Teach it what it means to be a team player. Give them leadership skills, right? That will, as they go throughout their life, it's going to add to their life and not take away. But the thing is what happens is we lose sight and we lose our hours, not so much our purpose. And so we have to say, okay, how do we scale our hours to honor our heart? And it looks like, well, maybe I've got to say no more often so I can say yes to what really matters. And you have to be able to say yes to what really matters in the season that you're in, right? There's going to be times that you've got to put some things on the back burner. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Don't feel guilty. Don't get depressed and say, oh man, here I am again. I'm trying. Yep. God's timing is perfect. You'll have your moment. But I do think there's things that we can do, little bits and pieces that keeps that fire burning within us. And when you intentionally design your day, your week, your hours, with the goal of honoring your heart and your Creator, you step into a different kind of success. One measured not by busyness or burnout, but by peace, joy, and impact. Don't wait for the crisis that forces you to stop, because I don't know about you, you just don't want to be there. You don't want to have that come to Jesus moment where all of a sudden you're in a medical crisis, or there's been a death in your family, or a close friend that's like family. And all of a sudden your whole world is just shaken. Don't let the noise drown your voice either. Take ownership of your time with courage and conviction. Scale your hours to honor your heart, and do so in a way that glorifies God's divine design for your life. That's the kind of life worth living, my friend. That's being a living legacy. So take time today. Look at your to-do list. Look at what's coming up for the season. We're just now into fall. Happy day, right? You're officially for those of you who really don't wear white after fall, okay, I guess it's time to put all the whites away. I will not be that person. I like my whites. I like my creams, and I'm going to keep them out. But fall's here. So it's time to get the pumpkins and the mums and decorate, because Christmas is around the corner. And this is the season that you need to look at and say, okay, what needs to blossom during this season? What can I control right now? What can I do to scale my hours to honor my heart? Because when I do that, I know I'm honoring God. And I know it honors my spouse and it honors my family. And when you can do all that, that's when you can go to sleep, rested, and fueling your heart for another day, Lord willing. Go in peace. Be present. Be incredible. Be you. I love you so very much. I cannot wait to see you on the other side. Blessings, hugs, and lots of love. We'll talk to you real soon. Have a glorious, blessed day. Bye-bye.
Feeling inspired, ready to train for life and love your journey? Visit createyournow.com for more incredible resources to help you along the way. We'll see you next time on Create Your Now, Your Best Selfie. And remember, always be sure you consult your physician before beginning any health and fitness plan.